more in our thing. I don't even know if our audio is working. It is working. Good. Fuck.
Yay!
This is what you get when you get like a power outage and then you got to run in and do all this crap. And anyway, that's why. Okay,
Yep.
because it's
That's what
Sick
today
ass
was for me.
thunderstorms, baby.
we're back. It's Geeks with Kids. We're a podcast that does stuff. The intro gets better every week. We're gonna talk about Deadpool and Wolverine today. Because it came out. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago now.
Week and a half.
Week and a half. Whatever. It came out recently. And we're going to chat about it. We're going to do a non-spoiler review first, obviously, like we normally do. And then we're going to talk about all the shit we like. But before that, let's talk about other...
Talk about this movie that's not spoilery.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't know how people are on the internet seeing this movie without getting spoiled, because every other Vine I go through is just a clip from the movie that's been videotaped.
That's why I had to go on... I had to see it the first day because of how... prevalent
so many of my friends are like, this was spoiled, and I'm like, it's like, that's the real joy of this movie. Probably is like, that shit.
And even I was gonna say Van City Reynolds,
Ryan
Reynolds is spoiling things on his Twitter.
It's brutal. I don't even want to like the posts in case it'll show to my friend,
because I know Hawk hasn't seen the movie yet, and I'm like, I can't risk him. Like the four main cameos, like he posted one of them. 2 of them today, or these past couple of days. And I'm like, those are the ones I didn't even know about. We'll talk about the cameos later.
Yeah. The one that I was absolutely blown away by is now all over YouTube.
Oh yeah.
About, should this person be getting their own movie? Like,
this Saturday after the movie came out, San Diego Comic-Con, they brought out a ton of people and they showed a bunch of stuff, and they showed the movie after they showed those people.
They showed the movie at SDCC. That's cool.
For the Hall H, they showed Deadpool Wolverine.
Just ignore these people. They're just here to watch.
Imagine you're about to see. You're like, oh, I want to see the panel for this movie, but I haven't seen it yet because I just traveled to San Diego, and then they fucking spoil the movie for you. Like, oh my god, and then they show it. Like, just show it and then do the panel. Like, come on.
Dude, that's why they should be doing something like bring out people like, here's Liam Neeson and Willem Dafoe, and you're like, oh my god, they're in the movie. No, they're not.
Liam Neeson
just brought them out.
Liam Neeson would be amazing. But anyway, let's get into the other stuff we normally do.
What's good?
Yeah. What is good? Let's start with Brent, because I know he had the changes.
I didn't really even come up. Okay, so I'll just continue with it. My game show was Twitch was supposed to return this Sunday, and literally, like, as we were queuing up and getting ready to go live, the person who I had booked on the show called and had to cancel. So we're trying to reschedule right now. I think tentatively it's rescheduled for the 17th. If not, then the first one will be the 25th. I'm excited because I've got a whole new title sequence, a whole new theme song. I made promo videos for it last night. I had a marathon planned for this week to watch all of the previous episodes so people can like see what it's all about and everything, and then this shit happens. So that's life.
It is life. It's quite good. If you guys haven't checked it out, go on Brent's Twitch and check it out. It's quite funny.
I'm excited for it. Because I got some new changes to it. I'm not telling anyone what they are because I want to surprise the guests, but we got some new format changes coming up that I'm really looking forward to.
4x3.
Ooh. And the only way to find out is by checking out Brent's Twitch. So
we're going IMAX, baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do it.
It's
Dave.
just me doing this the whole time.
God.
Dave, what's good?
What's good is you guys already know this. The night I went to see Deadpool and Wolverine, Harcroft and Mrs. Harcroft pulled up to pick me up.
Yeah.
And in the back seat is my favorite board game of all time from my childhood, which is a little game called the Omega Virus, which of course won't show up because my
trains, planes, and automobiles thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't show I don't want to show my unmade bed behind me, obviously. Anyway, whatever. I can put it, but it's so cool, you guys. It's so cool. It's like the most 80s video game or board game there ever. It has like a little thing like this. So if you like BioShock, you're gonna love this, or System Shock. It's basically System Shock.
Hungry Hippos.
Yo, that's a good game too. But it's just a game where there's up to four players, and you go around the board, and it's sort of like Nightmare or like the Star Trek and Star Wars VHS board games, but you're trying to like collect like key cards and stuff, sort of like Doom, to get and find like little bits and bobs. so that you can disable the Omega virus. And the whole time, I took the batteries out because I'm not going to play it anytime soon. But this little thing here fucking talks to you, and it goes, you have 30 minutes remaining.
That's
and
amazing.
Like, all Earth is doomed. And it just like randomly, like you have to, the way it works is as you like enter a thing, it has like a code. So it'll be like, enter player code. And then you enter your code and it goes, enter room number. And you enter room number. It's like, this room is empty or this room is like vacuum. Like it's randomized. So every time you play it, it is different.
That's cool.
Which is cool.
This makes me wish you could still get the Nightmare board game.
You can play that online now, I think.
There's new versions that they just do YouTube videos now.
Oh, all right.
It's like the Star Trek
Star Trek, yeah.
The Star Trek
I was telling people about we used to play the Star Trek and Star Wars board game, which were just Nightmare but reskinned. So it was Darth Vader and I don't remember who the Klingon was. The problem with those games is that being I'm 8 years younger than my oldest brother. So when you play those games, they always go, oh, the youngest player has to do this.
Yeah.
So for me, the game was always, I'm fighting 5 people who are 3 or more years older than me, and I'm 9 years old, so I get my ass kicked. It's brutal. But this game is great because it is somewhat cooperative because you're all trying to do the same thing. You're trying to stop a space station from blowing up Earth. But you can also fight each other if you want, because you want to take only one person can get to like stop the thing. So if someone collects like the blue, piece Gribbly or whatever, you have to and you have the other 2. Well, you need that blue thing so you can win the game. So you like have to like fight each other or come to an agreement. But he gets little plastic bits and little like key cards. It's like, I actually have the Doom board game, and this is way better. Yeah, I can't wait to play this one of these days.
Your brother was so excited about giving that to you, and he told me like weeks before, and I was like, I can't tell Dave that he's been trying to collect all these pieces.
Oh my god, what a dick! What a dick! He's so much nicer than me. Is the thing, like. And he's just like, I'm like, what's this? He goes, yeah, it's for you. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is like one of my favorite things ever. Like, god damn it. And then I posted about it in a bunch of places, and I forgot he follows me in like on Blue Sky, and he's like liking I'm like, no, he saw my gratitude.
He knows that I like him. No. God damn it.
Damn it.
Erase all those posts.
Yeah. Delete. How do I unsend the post?
How do I just like exclude these people from seeing anything I've
Yeah. How do I not let my brother know that I love him?
That's so funny. Oh yeah. You should do like a stream online playing it. Like I wonder if you could play that board game with people just online, like you showing the board and then like rolling for them.
I could make it happen. Yeah.
Remember like 2 or 3 years ago, we had talked about how we were going to do that.
Yeah.
You and I had talked about like we wanted to get the boys together for like a board game night and have like the camera over top and a couple cameras.
We never figured out what board game or how to.
We just never. You know what? We sat around one night. We said this is a great idea, and then we never revisited it.
My one buddy, Matt, he does a stream. He does board game streams. His name is Silver Metal Tavern on Twitch, and he does he plays board games with people on like online and stuff. Like I played a rally game with him, like a racing game.
Robo Rally?
No, it's like Dirt or something like that. It was really cool. Okay. I ended up buying the game, which is out of print now. And then he's also the editor for Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So, he's very cool. You should check out his Twitch. It's very entertaining.
There's something really cool about having friends who are like really talented and like work on real things.
Yeah.
It's like
he's on the West Coast, so his streams start really late. So if I'm ever up and at like 12 o'clock or something, and I'm just like, okay, let's see, what can I watch on stream, and I'll check him out. He does Let's Plays with his community on Fridays generally, so it's really cool. Really cool.
I mean, there's Tabletop Simulator, but there's nothing that beats, right? Just getting around a table and actually playing games together.
He has an amazing setup too. Like he has like multiple cameras and like he has green screen for his cards and like. It's so cool. It's so cool. He does such a good job.
My mom sent me a link to like I think it wasn't Rathesburger. It was Wormwood about like the giant tables.
Oh, God, they're so
And
nice.
I'm like, why are you sending me this? You know I can't like what are you talking about? I'm not getting one of these. She's like, oh, it converts into like a dining room table. And I'm like, do you want to get one?
Like
We just play on the pool table that we've had forever, and it's great, but there's not enough room. I would love to be able to set up cameras, but it would also take, like, if you have 4 players, you need 4 you need a camera for each player, probably. Maybe you need a camera for each of their boards, and then you also need a camera just for the board. And then do you do an overlay? Like, it's so much prep. MCDM did if you go to MCDM's YouTube and look up their Let's Plays of, like, they did a Dune board, which the Dune board game is awesome. But they have, like, a full-time person who, like, did that, who made their overlay and designed and edited all this stuff. It's awesome. We ain't got that.
I mean, I wish I could do that. God.
I don't have the time. None of us have the time or
space
the inclination.
or,
Yeah.
I got the time. I just
fair.
When we're making both Tomes is right.
Britt is right. One day when we're all making the big bucks, we'll do
That's
it.
Right.
One day. Todd Stashwick, who if any of you guys seen 12 Monkeys or Picard season 3, he also does these, like, live plays as well, and I
did not know that.
He has his converted garage, which he has nicknamed the Nerd Cave or something like that, and he has a Kickstarter right now where he's doing a prog rock, like, tabletop campaign or something, and it has, like, all these amazing people that are going to be associated with. But one of his tiers is one of those gaming tables, like a custom one that is going to get signed. So I went to look it up. I was like, oh, it's like $2,000 or $3,000 US for that tier. It's sold out already, but
goddamn,
you know, one day when I'm making the big bucks, like Britt said.
As a millennial, I just can't wait to afford a house first and then fill it with stuff.
Not gonna happen. Yeah. Anyway, that's awesome. That board game looks really cool.
I can't wait to play with you guys. It's gonna be great.
For sure. For me, what's good is just a couple days ago, Batman Caped Crusader came out on Prime Video.
Yes.
Which is a spiritual succession to the 90s Bruce Timm one. This one is created by Bruce Timm and J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves. So the director of the recent Batman movie, with the most recent one. And it's 10 episodes of amazing Batman content. If you guys have not seen it, the cast is incredible. Hamish Linklater, who we all loved in Midnight Mass, is Batman.
I love him in everything.
I forgot he was also on New Girl.
What's he? Oh, crazy.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
He's in one of my favorite movies called Groove. It was apparently his first movie. It came out in 2000. So it's a movie about raves, and I was in that back then.
He was the only thing in the Stand remake that I liked.
He was in the Stand. I didn't finish it, so I don't even think
he was only in the first episode.
Oh yeah, he was really.
I mean, in fairness, he has some terrible credits where he's, like, not the lead, because he was in the new he was in the 2005 Fantastic Four.
I mean,
he was also in Battleship.
Yeah, he was a captain in that, wasn't he?
but he was also in The Big Short, and he was phenomenal in The Big Short.
Yeah. Yes.
So Hamish Linklater is Bat. I don't know if I want to say who the cast. I'll say the ones that are.
It's a good cast.
We know it's Hamish Linklater, Batman. John DiMaggio as Bullock. Dietrich Bader, who was Batman in, like, the late 2000s.
A lot. The Batman
and Harley Quinn. He's Batman in there. He plays Harvey
yeah.
Dent, and he's phenomenal as Harvey Dent. I don't want to say who else shows up because there are a bunch of characters I did not expect to see. Oh, Britt, I guess you couldn't stand it. Oh my God. But yeah, the cast is phenomenal. Check it out. It's on Prime Video. There's 10 episodes, and the ending of the season is just so good. It's ridiculous.
I was reading an interview with Bruce Timm where he was talking about the fact that he didn't want to just redo the animated series stuff, because he's like, we've done that exists. Obviously, we're not going to get Kevin Conroy or Mark Hamill ever again, unfortunately. Yeah. Rest in peace. But so it is a similar style.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's still that kind of neo-gothic that looks amazing, but it is a little different.
Yeah.
And it's obviously, it feels like a higher frame rate. It's not, because that show was like 20, like, they would alter the frame rate too for stuff. And it was hand animated. This obviously isn't animated the same way, but
this is this is firmly set in, like, a pre-60s society, because there's no computers, which I love. And the fact that there's, like, a cell phone, or a phone in a car is, like, it's, like, wired to the phone. It's a big deal. And it's amazing. And you're just like, and Alfred is, like, switching in like the chords for the phones. Switchboarding. Oh man, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, go check it out. Check it out. Yeah.
I just yesterday canceled my Prime. Because of course I bought something on Prime Day, and then it took 9 days to arrive. When I don't have Amazon Prime, things take 1 day to ship. When I do have Amazon Prime, it takes months.
For sure. So since we've moved now, I've ordered 2 things off Amazon. The first one, they shipped to my old address, even though I deleted it off my account. And then last week, I had them ship another one, which they sent to my neighbor's house.
So, fun story. They charged an old credit card that's expired on Prime Day, and then for some odd reason, they wouldn't accept like the gift card that I have associated to my account. That's the same amount. And I'm like, why? Why didn't you just why? And then they couldn't switch the payment information. So it's just like it was such a big headache that I was just like, no.
Amazon has officially got to the point where they're like, okay, we're big enough to just not give a shit now.
Yeah. And obviously,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime is making some of the best shows out there, but everything else is getting worse. As you can tell, we're not sponsored by Amazon.
No, we are streaming on one of their platforms. Whatever.
Well, it's true.
Whatever. Not like we got a good bit rate over on Twitch.
Get it together, Amazon.
Can you give us 10,000 at least so we can get a better bit rate? Twitch, come on.
We're YouTube start buying from CanadianTire.ca is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. It'll at least ship to the store in a day.
They're the largest distribution network in Canada.
Anyway, let's go talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. We're going to do a non-spoiler, like 2-second review. Hey, Dave, you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? You would recommend it?
I would say that if you like any of the Fox movies, right? Because it's obviously that's Wolverine. Like he's like the lead in all those movies. You're going to like this. If you like the Deadpool movies, you're going to like this. If you like the MCU, you're going to like this. If you like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, you're going to like this. If you don't like any of those things, maybe it's not for you. I think this movie is for fans. And that's fine. I saw a lot of complaints saying, "Oh, this movie is for fans." Is it what?
Oh no!
It's a fucking comic book movie for fans. What? Yeah. Oh, sorry. This one wasn't for the general audience, and it's making billions of dollars.
IGN has a ridiculous article, something sort of like that. We'll talk about it in a second.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Brent, what'd you think? Do you like it? Do you recommend it?
You know, I'll even go so far as to say if you don't like the MCU, if you don't like the
okay,
you will still like.
There's a case.
Holy shit! No, this movie's fantastic. It's such a beautiful fu to the image behind me as well. Like it was great. It was great. Did it save the MCU? I don't know because
we'll talk about that. That's the name of this video.
Could save the MCU, but did it save my hope in film? Yes.
I like that. That's good.
In general.
In general. Personally,
I've seen a lot of movies in theaters lately. I've liked. This is the first one this year that I've really been crazy about.
I don't even remember what I've seen this year, to be honest. But that's okay because
Abigail.
Abigail was so good, so good. Anyway, I like this film. I think for fans of comic books and comic book movies, this is great. The general audience may not get some of the cameos and jokes and stuff, but that's okay because it was a fucking entertaining movie.
I don't know. It didn't seem like that really mattered. That was like it's just like it's here, and then those bring it here. It's not like it's bad. It's just better if you know that stuff.
Yeah, there are a couple cameos that I think if people hadn't seen the previous ones, they're just like, okay, that's weird for that person to say that thing and then change.
There are some like deep jokes too that like our audience gasped.
Same. This I will say that this is the first film since Endgame where I had like the whole audience was like fully together and just like on the edge of their seat, like they got every joke, like people were cheering and
you
clapping.
Actually don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing. We'll get it. Anyway, we're gonna spoil.
This was the first movie, and I think since pre-pandemic that I did not hate being in a theater full of people to watch.
Same. Like No Way Home, was that the third Spider-Man?
Yes,
No Way Home was
yes.
close, but this was way closer to Endgame than No Way Home. Like it was crazy. Like it was like the one cameo section in No Way Home, but the whole movie. Right?
This movie made me excited for more Marvel stuff, which obviously hasn't happened. Like No Way Home, I had it was like a roller coaster. It was like, oh, I'm done. Oh, maybe I'm not. Oh no, I'm done. Oh, maybe not. And then whereas this and everything since then has kind of just been like, oh man, you're not doing it. You're whatever you need to do, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
And this movie was like, I think you maybe did it. You made me excited.
I love that this movie not only like just brought it with the cameos and everything, but also brought it with the cameos that weren't there. They were even cracking jokes and making reference to certain cameos people expected that didn't happen. Like,
one thing I want to ask: how was it before the movie? Like the trailers? Did you guys get Captain America before? Like my audience was hyped just because that was a trailer right before they started the movie.
Too.
So people were just like already on their edge.
God, that movie better be good because they basically reshot the whole fucking thing.
Well,
like they reshot all of Brave New World. Like it better be good.
I hope
so.
February.
It looks good. It looks really good.
I've been watching a lot. I watched a lot of the San Diego Comic-Con stuff and all the interviews. And
Harrison Ford looks like he was having fun, which is strange to say about Harrison Ford because he hates everything.
When they did the first shoots, I remember Anthony Mackie posting that a Harrison Ford quote when his first day on set. He goes, "Let's shoot this piece of shit."
I just love the idea that like, okay, William Hurt passed away. We have to replace him in the movies. So we need someone who's going to be able to do the long haul as this character. So let's get Harrison Ford.
I mean,
dude, we were watching the trailer. I leaned over to Mrs. Harcroft and I said, you think Harrison Ford's going to point? You think he's going to point? And in the trailer, you see him do the point.
He does it right to Anthony Mackie.
He's a point actor. That's literally his thing. He's in business
when he's like,
that's right.
Look, all I know is if Red Hulk doesn't at some point scream out, "Give me back my family," I'm out of it.
Is Red Hulk?
He could say, "Get off my plane."
Is Red Hulk intelligent? Like
he's dumber than Ross, but he's not dumb.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember if he could speak or he's just
only Jen Walters and Gray Hulk are not like slightly dumber when they Hulk out, basically.
Fair. Anyway,
and maybe Immortal Hulk Amadeus Cho at times, but that's
Amadeus Cho is a smart Hulk though. He's Professor.
He's like
Hulk.
the fifth smart. He's supposed to be like the fifth smartest person in Marvel, and then he's also a Hulk, depending.
Oh God, I would love to see him on film. Anyway, we're never going to see that. An Asian Hulk.
We all said we'd never see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Fair. Let's spoil the shit of this movie. So for those listening, warning. We're gonna spoil it now. Come back, listen. We're not gonna do a full plot analysis because that's not fun. Let's talk about what we like, what we didn't like.
This movie's more about the vibes.
The vibes were insane.
They were way on.
Let's start about the first vibe that totally got my audience going, and that was the fucking intro where not only do we find out that Wolverine is fully dead, the Logan Wolverine, but we get an amazing fight set to bye. What did you guys think of this intro sequence?
Do you remember, and I think it's an X2, they turn on the radio and it's NSYNC and Wolverine turns it off. And I think it was that song, actually.
Was it really?
Well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I did.
There's just so many jokes that line up to it. Because obviously, with the Celine Dion bit, he was like, I should have got NSYNC. But holy fuck, first of all, it was good.
Yeah.
That was sick opening. I think those are the best opening credits for Deadpool.
I mean, phenomenal. I really love the Celine Dion, like James Bond, like esque opening.
In Ashes, or whatever it's called. Yeah.
It's an amazing song. But I don't think I ever thought I'd see him dancing the dance while killing people.
Well, that's not Ryan Reynolds dancing.
I know it's not.
I've gone back and I found like a copy online that you can
it was there the day it came out.
Oh my God.
To where you can like rewatch that opening sequence and everything, and like just how beautifully timed out every hit is to every beat of the music. just the little intricacies, like, oh, it was so good. It brought me back to when that song first came out, and me and my friends would all try to mimic the dance to it.
For sure.
I never thought about killing them at the same time, but now I will.
I mean, it's amazing because this whole sequence like sets up the mood of the whole film. Like it was just, it was a righteous like romp of super fun. Like it was just so much fun that everyone was howling and laughing and tapping.
Dave, I think it was you last recording said you saw the I don't know if it was you, but somebody said
it was Dave,
saw the track list for the soundtrack and said you don't look at the track list or because it's going to give you the tone of the movie. And then I realize now exactly what you mean. Like,
it was amazing. I'm so glad I didn't look it.
One of the things I saw on the track list is because I thought it was going to play through like a bigger part of the movie, but it was just briefly on the radio at one part because the Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman's
theme is in it, and I was
when that clicked on, I fucking lost my.
I died.
I was one of only. Not a lot of people laughed in the theater. I audibly fucking bursted when that came on.
Yeah,
because I had just finished. Like we had just driven. Me and my parents just drove a 4-hour trip to for my brother's wedding, and we were listening to the Greatest Showman soundtrack on the way up.
I mean, why not? That soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
Pascal and who's the other guy who made it? Anyway, it's great. It's a great. Let's see. I listened to it on the drive home. Like I made a playlist right afterwards. It was called Deadpool and Wolverine Van Vibes.
Yeah.
Bye. Let's talk about the soundtrack before we move. Wait, before we talk about soundtrack, what'd you guys see this in? Like IMAX, 3D, AVX, D-Box? What did
digital IMAX is what I saw it in.
Basically IMAX, but
it's 35 millimeters or 70 millimeters.
Yeah,
better, but.
Close enough. Yeah.
I wanted to see it in the D-Box, but they were sold out. So
were you in AVX or
it was
IMAX?
literally like it was AVX. This was literally like a last minute like going. I just suddenly got the burst at 9 o'clock. I was like, I'm gonna go try to make the midnight show.
I went to AVX D-Box. My tickets were actually late too, but only because the theater that I bought it at previously ended up getting flooded, so they closed that for like 2 or 3 weeks to clean it all up.
I'm pretty sure you and I were seeing it at the exact same time. So
yeah.
Because I remember you messaging that you were just sitting down, and I'm reading that going like, oh, me too.
Yeah.
Our when Multiverse of Madness came out, when we saw that, there were so many issues, like people shouting shit and like the screen broke and all that stuff. You might remember all that shit happening.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had like extra security at the theater this time.
Oh shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, because people went and like screamed at staff that night and got like ejected. And yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
People like
but there were no issues this time. And actually the crowd was a lot better this time. Like there wasn't anybody like I remember when I saw Spider-Man 3 and one guy just would not shut he just kept trying to make jokes, being like, I'm a comedian. It's like, watch the movie.
There's a movie I saw not too long ago, and I can't fucking remember what it was, but there was a guy like a row over, like 3 or 4 seats over, just on his phone the whole time. Like, how are you not watching this film? What are you doing?
Why did you pay to be on your phone in the dark? Like you could do that at home.
Oh, it was Furiosa. It was Furiosa.
He was trying to record the movie, but didn't know how to do it.
I
was being too subtle about it.
I would have thought that too, but he was definitely on Twitter. Like I could see him posting and like
live tweeting the movie that he wasn't watching.
I don't even think so. Like, because he was posting pictures of himself from the day, and I was like,
he was having a flame war with Elon.
He's on Twitter looking up Furiosa spoilers.
Oh my god, that's a good movie if you guys haven't seen it. I don't even remember what I was talking about. The music soundtrack.
Yeah.
Check out this fucking soundtrack. Bye by NSYNC. Angel in the Morning, which we heard multiple times.
Yeah, it's in the trailers and stuff, right?
This Is How We Do It by Montel Jordans. What We're Doing Here by Alex Sucks. I don't even remember which one that is. Glamorous by Fergie. The Kid by Misfit. I Know, Janine the Machine. Money Life by Beast Stew. Iris, the Goo Goo Dolls, which was so well used. The Power of Love, Huey Lewis and the News, which was the time travel song. Amazing. You Belong to Me, Patsy Cline. The Lady in Red, Chris de Burgh. I'm With You, Avril Lavigne. Obviously, the quintessential van, driving song. The Greatest Show from The Greatest Showman. Slash by Stray Kids. If This Is It, Huey Lewis and News, Hell's Bells, A Million Dreams from.
Oh my God! When Hell's Bells started playing, I went, "Holy shit!"
They brought out the money for Hell's Bells, eh?
Fuck, dude. Fuck, that was good.
And it was the first main fight in that, right? Because they were in the void, and Hell's Bells just starts. And you're like, "Oh, let's fucking go!" And then they fucking go. What did you guys think about that fight? We're in Hell's Bells now. We're in the void. Wolverine and we'll go back to the time travel sequence, but I like this fight, and we're already talking about it.
It was great.
It was great. What did you like?
Obviously, we saw in the trailer, right? We saw some of the references. We see, the Spider-Man 1 reference and stuff like that. But just the fact that Deadpool's just like, I don't really want to do this, and then Wolverine's just like, when they meet in the comics and Wolverine's mad, Deadpool, if he doesn't have his teleporter, he just has to fight Wolverine until Wolverine gets sick of it.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. This is fucking punching bag.
I love that the CN Tower's there and the 20th Century Fox logo and all these relics from Fox movies of past and Toronto. Well, the CN Tower's there because X-Men was filmed in Toronto. So stuff like that. Like such nice little
and Hamilton.
And Hamilton, yes, obviously.
I was an extra.
Were you? Nice. I came out of a Matt Good concert in Toronto, and I was walking down the street, and they were filming it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then it was obviously the X-Men. It was so cool.
Yeah, I was an extra at the CN rail station when they were doing that exterior
the exploding
shot.
part. That's cool.
Man, I want to go to a Matt Good show.
And he is touring right now. It's called Matt Good and his band right now, which is really funny. Anyway, that fight was so good. Like it was nice. It was, I don't know. It was so fucking cool.
I kind of like going into it. I was like, every time I was like, I know they're going to fight a bunch of times in this movie and everything, just, at least in the early stages. And I'm like, the fact that neither of them can actually get injured or die in it, I just kept picturing that. I'm like, they're just going to beat the shit out of each other for about 2.5 minutes until they both just get old man tired. Yeah. And I'm so looking forward to that.
Which one gets old man tired first? It's just like, which one? I wonder if Deadpool gets beheaded, does he grow a little body underneath, or does his head grow up?
They actually ask.
I think Headpool can answer that question.
Oh, fair.
That's actually how Headpool was created. Also, evil Deadpool in Deadpool, when like the Deadpool core is led by an evil Deadpool in the comics, which is a bunch of body parts that are reassembled of regular Deadpool. Like he's from 616, and one of the things is that his left arm is also a right arm, so it's backwards.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm still not down with them calling the movie universe 616. I find that weird.
It is annoying. Yeah.
You
can't have two 616s.
No, Feige. God damn it. We had a number for it.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
The who plays Ms. Marvel, I can't remember her name.
Kamala Khan.
Anyway, that actress, she does not like that they call
Iman Vellani.
Vellani does not like that they call the Marvel Universe 616. She's like, no, we had a name for it beforehand. And we're like, yeah,
she's right.
She's right. Okay, let's rewind things, because to save Deadpool's universe, he has to go find an anchor being, a Wolverine. So he goes through all of these multiple universes set to the power of love. And what did you think of the sequence? And then, seeing Cavalry.
God, I don't like tall. I've never liked tall Wolverine. Mm-hmm. I like comic act. There's no why. Who's gonna call him Runt if he's fucking 6'2"?
Fair.
But I was like, I'm okay if Henry Cavill's the new Wolverine. I'm fine with that. I'm down.
I love that Deadpool was like, we'll treat you better than the guys down the road. And I was like, yes.
I originally, like, going into that whole sequence where he's finding all of them, the one that I thought they were going to do is I thought they were going to get a Dougray Scott cameo.
That would have been
great. But then I sat there thinking, and then I originally, like, when it came to the Cavalry, for a second there, I thought, oh, this is it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, does anyone even really know who Dougray Scott is anymore? Like, would that even register to people nowadays? And then Henry Cavill turns around. Like, that registers.
I mean, the people that were there, like, seeing it on opening night, I think they would have understood. But I don't think anyone else would. But yeah, that Cavill cameo, which... Did that ever get spoiled before the movie came out?
No.
I was.
There were rumors.
Was
There
there?
were rumors.
I will happily go through all of the ones that I had spoiled for me going in for even like months before the movie came out, and that was not one of them. That was a huge shock to me.
Because I saw the first trailer and then I stayed away from anything I could.
Yeah, same.
What was spoiled for you?
Because
Out of curiosity.
I already knew about Jennifer Garner as Elektra.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I knew about Chris Evans as Human Torch.
Oh man.
I had heard an inkling about Gambit, but there was no real confirmation. I knew Azazel and Toad were in it.
I saw that from the trailer.
There
so
was,
yeah.
Yeah, there was. Oh, and then they spoiled like the Sabretooth, but like Azazel and Toad, I had heard about like months previous. And then I knew about I knew Rob McElhenney's cameo because of Welcome to Wrexham.
Mm-hmm.
But even though you can't identify him in that movie, because I thought he was Welsh Pool, he's not.
That's Paul Mullen.
Paul Mullen was Welsh Pool.
Yeah. They changed the Wrexham website to Welsh Pool for Paul Mullen, which I think is hilarious.
But yeah, Rob McElhenney played one of the TVA agents.
So when they're
one of the unnamed TVA agents in it.
He's not even in the movie. You can see him for like 2 seconds. You know when they're dragging the two cages behind the Fantastic car up to the compound? There's two of them, and one has the three of them, and the other one has a TVA agent, and that's him because he was supposed to come out and get tortured. But they cut that out.
I kind of want to see the cast of Sonny in the MCU because of this. Like, I don't know who they are. like for a bit, people were like, Glenn Howerton could be a good Doctor Doom, and I'm like, he would be a good Doctor Doom. He's so good at playing a psychopath.
He was great at Blackberry.
Oh fuck, dude, what a snub. But I thought like McElhenney wouldn't be a bad Wonder Man. I think.
Oh yeah, he would be great as that.
He would be right, just like playing an idiot. Yeah. And Charlie Day could just play anybody he wants.
That's true. Yeah. He should just be a scientist of some sort.
Just make Charlie Day Beast or something.
No.
Hi, I'm Hank McCoy.
I would no. Dave, what do you think of the time travel Wolverine sequence?
It was fun. I've seen it about 1,000 times going through YouTube Shorts and Reels on Instagram because they just keep showing up. So I'm kind of over it now. I'm kind of like, it doesn't feel special anymore. But it was in the theater. It was great. Just being like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit! Like just again and again.
Seeing the orange and brown outfit.
Oh, dude, I love the Hulk. That's my favorite.
The Hulk timeline. That was my favorite comic series growing up. Was the Wolverine versus Hulk series. Like that was the only one that I had the entire complete series for. I read it and loved it, and I've been waiting for them to do Wolverine versus Hulk story at some point. And even if that's all we get, I'm like, I'm okay with it.
Well, we still can't get a Hulk movie, right? Because Universal still has that. But Hulk can be the co-star like he was in Ragnarok. So fingers crossed that Hugh Jackman just wants to do a solo Wolverine movie fighting the fucking Hulk.
I just want to see the Hulk fucking throw Wolverine. Like just once. Then we see Patch. We saw Days of Future Past one.
One hand.
And a bunch of others. I can't even remember right.
That Days of Future Past would have been a good opportunity to show Halle Berry as well, right? Because they're married in that timeline. So it's still a little too bad that because a lot of people wanted to see Storm and a lot of the other X-Men and stuff.
I thought we would see like Jean Grey and stuff in this movie. To be honest,
would have been awesome.
That was another rumor that was floating around was that you were going to see more of like the Scott Summers was originally rumored to be in it.
Oh yeah. That would have been good.
Like
it makes sense
that they had brought James Marsden, Famke Janssen, and Halle Berry all in for cameos, and I guess that never happened. So when
you look at the arc of the film, though, it makes a lot more sense that they wouldn't show those people because it would just take away from Wolverine's like pathos. There,
I fully
be like, oh
yeah. Well, and it would make it more significant if in the future, like Secret Wars, we get to see them come back, and he's like, "Oh fuck, that's my team that died."
Yeah,
like that would be amazing. Like, Secret Wars.
Well, if he's in Deadpool's universe. They're there. I don't know what version, but they're fucking there, right? Like,
oh yeah. Well,
there's two Wolverines in that timeline right now,
and we've seen the younger X-Men team in that one, based on Deadpool.
I mean,
2.
It kind of doesn't. They could do whatever they want because he's the only person who's only like they've obviously recast everybody else except for him.
For sure,
right? They recast Stryker, even like
fair. What else do we want to talk about? Like, you know what? The TVA seems to be the main, antagonist in this film. And it's it feels like it feels different from the Loki TVA. But this happens in 2018 though, right?
I think they're allowed. I think they're sort of allowed to do that. No, because it's post Loki. It's definitely post Loki season 2.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's definitely post. Like obviously we don't see any of the time or the tree of life or whatever you want to call it, but I think the indication is, especially at the end of Loki, was that there's multiple versions of the TVA essentially, or that the TVA is so big
and so
with multiple. Like there's because at the end of Loki season 1, right? What did we meet a different Mobius essentially, or whatever. So it's timey-wimey bullshit. Like there could be, how many different Mobiuses could there be if they're all variants anyway, right?
Oh, true. That's fair.
So like there's the TVA is outside of time and space. It's infinitely big. Like, it makes sense that it's going to look different and they're going to have different shit just because it's so, I mean, they're trying to manage all of space and time, an infinite number of universes.
I did like that B-15 seems to be upper management now. I liked her.
She was one of the, she's phenomenal.
Yeah. And her relationship with,
Paradox?
No, at the end with, what's his name?
Fuck yeah.
What's his name? Oh, Peter.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
When that was a joy. That was a joy to see.
I love Peter in general in the movie. I love that like every universe has a Peter.
I love that that's how they resolved it. Their fight. It was just like, we love Peter. Everyone loves Peter. Let's all love Peter right now. Oh my god. Great.
You just got to use the power of ADHD to defeat Deadpools. An army of Deadpools. That's how you defeat them.
Let's see. Did we talk about more of the connections that we've seen so far? Like, let's talk about Chris Evans showing up. I just that was the one that I did not expect.
They got me too. I thought it was Cap at first.
I thought it was Cap too, and I was like, and everyone in my theater did too.
They hid, they had like the colors right and everything. It was like,
they had the blue, but just the blue on the end because you couldn't see.
That would have been so incredible if I hadn't known about it going in.
I would have been so angry. And you know what? I like the second Fantastic Four movie. I liked Silver Surfer and stuff. And I thought Doug Jones did an amazing job. Lawrence Fishburne was a great voice for Silver Surfer. I didn't like the cloud-looking head at the end, but there are parts I liked about the Fantastic Four movies. And Chris Evans.
The whitewashing of Jessica Alba was not great. But
no, they should have just left her like regular Jessica Alba.
She was fine. Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. I like Ewan Griffith too. Like I like him.
He was so good. Yeah. I thought he was a great Reed Richards.
Yeah. So I hope they get him back. He was in the newest Bad Boys movie, which I did not expect.
I hear it's good.
It was from what I've seen. It's not bad.
I was thinking of watching that tonight.
Yeah,
because I didn't like the last one.
I've got that and Maxine I want to watch tonight, I think.
Oh yeah, I have to see the second Max movie. Max, I think it's called
Pearl.
Pearl.
Pearl's the second one.
Yeah.
It's Max. Pearl, Maxine.
Yeah.
Max. Okay, yeah, for sure. Oh no, it's triple. It's X, right? The first one.
X. The first one is X. The second movie is Pearl, which is a prequel, and then Maxine, which is a sequel.
Yeah. Cool. I don't remember what I'm talking about anymore.
But yeah, I loved seeing Chris. Like I wish, like I said, I wish I hadn't had it spoiled. But I loved seeing Chris Evans reverting back to old Chris Evans.
Like the douchey one, like
did his Boston accent come out or what? Too.
We've watched him clean that persona up so much in recent movie roles, and it's nice to see him just go back to that same old cocky, fucking Johnny Storm, not another teen movie, Chris Evans kind of guy again. Like I loved it.
There's this story that Jason Mewes says where he sort of fucked up during one of Chris Evans' interviews, and Chris Evans was just like sort of a dick to him, but that's because Jason Mewes was being a dick, and that's what this reminded me of. Is like the old Chris Evans where he's just like, oh, I'm fucking pissed off at anyone, and the post credits scene where he just spouts off,
where you find out that was all true. I'm like, oh,
and Johnny Storm would
You know what makes me want to see is Sean Ashmore as Iceman.
Yes.
Chris Evans as Johnny Storm and Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, because those three are basically best friends in the comics. So that'd be real fucking cool.
Instead, we got Pyro.
I I like Aaron Stanford. He was very good as Pyro.
I think they were like, oh, we need somebody to do this, but we need somebody who can defeat Johnny Storm. And a friend of Harcroft's is a huge comic nerd, like even more than us. And I was like, well, they picked the one guy who can like depower Johnny Storm, and he was like, well, Johnny Storm. And I'm like, in this version, clearly he can depower Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Like we saw it happen. Like
it's funny because I was thinking that too. I was like, I don't think he can depower Johnny Storm. But then
Johnny should be more powerful than Pyro. Pyro is not a very powerful mutant, but it's. There's variants. We don't know. This could be the worst. This could be the worst, shittiest Johnny Storm we've ever seen, and the most powerful Pyro there's ever been.
True. It's true. He was such a good character in X2. So, and then in X3 he was sort of shitty. So to see him come back and be great was really nice.
And I loved through that whole sequence too, like I mentioned earlier, getting the comments made about cameos that didn't happen. Like I think one of the lines I laughed the most about was kind of the throwaway line of like, "Oh, who's playing Juggernaut this week?"
Oh my god, I love that they just didn't even try to get Vinny.
No, they tried to get Vinny Jones.
Did they?
He turned it down. He turned it down. He said he refused to put the costume on again.
He said it
was too cumbersome for him. It was too uncomfortable. He's like, I'm not doing it.
I like that we saw because it's just like, okay, well, we don't need that version of them. It's fine having variants. Mm-hmm. Like it's fine. Yeah. Like we didn't have that was clearly not Darth Maul.
Not Ray Park.
I thought it was Ray Park. I thought
No, there's some close-ups where it's like that's not Ray Parks, definitely not.
I thought it was too, but then I looked up afterwards, and no, he didn't come back.
Oh, I heard Kelly Hu came back as Lady Deathstrike, but it didn't look like her, which was crazy. Or at least, but it was like there for like 2 seconds.
This is that was like 20 years ago though, so
fair. Yeah, now I'm looking. Tyler Mane looks fantastic still as Sabretooth.
Well, he's been a wrestler for like 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Before we continue on, we did see the main character, like the main friends of the Deadpool universe before the TV ends up taking Deadpool. Did it feel weird not having those people in a Deadpool movie, just after having them in being such a
no? I'm ready to move on from a lot of them, honestly. I'm ready for Deadpool to have new adventures with new people. I feel like the storylines with a lot of them are like, where do you really go from here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for him to move on.
Yeah, I think like the same reason it would have been all right if we had a better Cable throwaway line than like, oh, he just didn't test well. Like it's kind of a throwaway joke.
That was funny.
Rather than the like, maybe he went home or whatever you want to say, like, or just fucking say he joined the X-Men, like he would have. But like how many more jokes are we gonna do between Cable and Deadpool? Like, how many? Yeah, you can do 30 issues of that comic because that's how comics work, but a movie, like how many times are we going to do Deadpool and the Straight Man? How many times are we going to do Abbott and Costello? And it's just Deadpool making jokes with the same character. I don't think it's going to work out.
I think Deadpool as a character moving forward works better if he's playing off of different people in each movie. It's not just the same shtick every time, but it's how does he interact with these different characters in different settings and that's where the appeal for me comes.
Because at the end, they're always like they begrudgingly accept him.
Yeah.
So once they begrudgingly accept him, where are we going to go from there?
Yeah.
Right. It's not like
I'm still down for a Peter cameo in every movie.
Sure.
I have no problem with that.
But you can't make that the focus of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like we could watch like 30 films that are Cap and Black Widow because those characters are so like different in their ideology. That's fine.
Well, not anymore, but
well, yeah, I guess Black Widow's dead. But like, yeah, like you just can't keep like I don't want to see another. I don't know if I want to see another Deadpool and Wolverine movie, even right? Like, what are we gonna do with that? I'd like to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, I'd love an X-Force movie.
Yes,
that'd be cool. Get me Psylocke in there. Get me Archangel.
A good Psylocke. Like... A good Psylocke. She was in Apocalypse, right?
Yes, Olivia Munn. Yeah,
I like her, but she wasn't a good.
She got very little screen time in that movie too. To be fair,
she is about as charismatic as a cardboard cutout of Olivia Munn. I'm sorry.
Oh, she was good on the Attack of the Show. She was.
Okay,
that was 25 years ago.
Okay,
fair,
sure.
Fair. Yeah, fair. That's fair. So, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. This is really I want to say this is sort of like a a hurrah to his legacy, right? We got Logan, which was a very poignant, like, actor's comic book movie. But this one is sort of like a love letter to him playing Wolverine for the past 20 some odd years. What do you think of, this?
Him finally playing a comic book, like what almost felt like a comic book accurate Wolverine, who's actually a loner, who actually
and hates everyone,
actually smokes and smells and drinks
and swears.
And just will just fucking kill people he finds annoying, rather than like the PG-13 Wolverine that's just kind of like, Iceman, can you cool my beer down for? Oh, it's not beer, it's root beer. Oh, okay. Like,
oh fuck, I forgot about that.
Oh god, it just felt like, wow, this guy actually is an asshole. He's actually unlikable, like Wolverine's supposed to be. So yeah, it was fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Right? Do you think he'll be back?
Yes.
Hugh Jackman? Yeah.
Yes.
Like, has he said anything about it?
No, because he's going to be
I just
Secret
kind of
Wars.
assumed that he wanted this as like. It's weird to say that this would he wanted this as a swan song because Logan was the swan song.
No, he's back for sure.
Okay. Yeah, he said
when.
Sorry,
go ahead, Eric.
I was gonna say, when he announced his retirement, it was the week before Deadpool came out.
Yes,
and he said that after he watched Deadpool, he was like, "Fuck."
Well, there was one other thing he said when he retired too. They said, "Well, if you come back, what could make you come back?" And he said, "If I get to be in the Avengers movies." He goes, "I want to fight with the Avengers." So I think part of this movie is Kevin Feige going, "Yes, we get to set up Wolverine in Secret Wars," because Wolverine is, depending on the version of Secret Wars, he's always a big deal in those fucking comics because everybody loves Wolverine. He sells comics. So, we could ideally, we'll do Black Suit Spider-Man like they originally had. We'll have Wolverine in Secret Wars, because Secret Wars should be just like a ton of fucking just every different version, and that Wolverine's gonna have to fight like a different X-Men. Hopefully, I want to see Hugh Jackman in the yellow suit fight the young X-Men.
Yes.
That he isn't like, instead of like he's got to protect like James Marsden and Fam Jansen. He's killing fucking Sansa Stark and whoever else.
I don't remember who's on that.
Taking out the New Mutants.
Oh my god, it would be amazing if like Wolfbane and Magic were in that, because that movie was terrible.
I keep forgetting that Anya Taylor-Joy was
I was legitimately wishing that was a cameo in this movie, that the 5 kids just showed up and just immediately got murdered.
Magic would make sense showing up in this. Like, she was...
The Void is basically Limbo, and she is the queen of Limbo, so...
Man. What were we talking about? Anyway, Wolverine. We were talking about Hugh Jackman. And his legacy. And
he'll be back.
He'll be
for sure be back. Yeah.
For sure. Let's talk about
he seemed to have a lot of fun making this. So I was like, that's where I was like, at the end when they were like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go my separate way. It's like, no, come on with me, okay. And I'm like, wait a minute, like I just kind of thought this was gonna be like a one-off thing, but if he's in, I was
very surprised that they let him live at the end of this movie. Like I did not think that he was gonna survive.
I really liked that they were like, well, how you survived? He's like, well, you said it would kill one.
But there are 2 of us.
It's such a fucking like movie, I'm gonna triple stamp a double stamp.
They needed a reason to play another 80s power ballad,
and they needed a reason for his shirt to rip off, right? Like, it makes sense. Oh,
Mrs. Harcroft fucking audibly gasped.
I mean,
she
everyone audibly gasped in our movie theater.
Thing that drives me crazy is that I'm like, well, he was wearing the mask. I'm like, that could have been anyone.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
I'm sure it was Hugh Jackman, and I'm sure he did a lot of TRT and Trent, because like he's 55. Like, it's not a natural physique. He's working hard. It's not fun, like, yes, genetics are a huge factor and all this stuff. Just go watch like Dr. Mike or something, like all this shit. Like, at 55, even though he has a history of being he doesn't walk around looking like that all the time. No. So there's a lot that goes into doing that.
I mean, he can't do his show tunes if he's just bulked up to shit, right? You can't dance.
It honestly probably affects your voice. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. That's why he slimmed down. Like, he's normally just
also, right? Also, if you're singing and dancing 5, 6, 7 hours a day, you're not gonna be able to keep muscle on, because you're basically doing a fuck ton of cardio and you're just gonna eat away at all that, and you're gonna slim down. That's what's gonna happen
for sure. Let's talk about found family, because there's always been a found family theme in the Deadpool movies, right?
It's all three of them.
All three of them. Yeah. But this one we get the found family of X-23, Elektra, Blade, and then Gambit. Like these 4 cameos that I did not know was gonna happen. Like not one of them did I know was gonna show up.
Like I said, I knew for sure. I had heard for sure the X-23 and Elektra. Gambit was a rumor, but I didn't know it was going to be Channing Tatum playing it. I thought it was going to be because who played him in
that Tyler guy?
Origins.
Tyler something?
Tyler, yeah, I can't
Not
remember.
Tyler Perry.
No, I'm trying to think. I can't
Taylor
remember.
Kitsch.
Anyway,
Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch,
Oh, yeah.
thank you.
The guy from the Martian Chronicles or whatever it's called.
John Carter was a great movie.
Great movie.
I thought it might be him if Gambit came out, but I very audibly screamed, and so did the audience when
I
Blade
just imagine
walked
Brett
out.
going,
No, that was like of every cameo in the movie, even the ones I did know, if I hadn't known them, that is still the one where I would have lost my shit because of how shocked I was by it.
This is
I never in a million years expected that.
This is what happened when the cameos happened at the sequence when I saw it. We saw Elektra show up, and people were like, "Oh, wow!" And then we heard a vroom, and everyone was like, "No!" And then Blade came on, because that's obviously the sound we always hear when he came on in the movie. So people lost their shit with Blade, and then
I'm waiting for all like the young kids who are like the new MCU fans are like, "Oh my god, Will Smith!"
No. and then Gambit came out, and no, people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like everyone like audibly gasped or said something at that point, and then
I
we're
loved
cheering.
that
Like, it was amazing.
And just immediately lets out the worst Louisiana accent.
Isn't that his actual accent though? Isn't he from?
No, dude. I've been watching videos with Creole people, and it seems pretty spot on.
Yeah, it's like one of his backgrounds is that, and
I'd seen something where he talked about how like they asked him to make it as thick and ridiculous as possible for the movie.
Apparently,
it's definitely funnier.
It sounds like one of his grandmas or something like that. Which I think is hilarious that he just wanted to emulate one of his family members, and that's what they sound like. Oh my god, he was so good as Gambit too, and I don't know how
Taylor Kitsch has the right build.
Yeah,
because Gambit isn't like fucking Channing
Tatum is built.
Is a fucking motherfucker.
Taylor Kitsch plays Gambit like
not a good enough actor.
He's slim. He has the silhouette of him.
Like, yeah. Channing Tatum knows the character. Like,
for sure.
It's so great to see him finally. So great to see him finally get to play that.
When I mentioned earlier that over the weekend, Ryan Reynolds had spoiled a bunch of them. This is the one I saw him spoil, was Gambit, like actual stills.
He just posted about Jennifer Garner actually earlier today.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Well, because Ryan Reynolds has been posting a shitload of pictures of like him and Channing Tatum from 20 years ago, and him and Channing Tatum now, and it's like, just stop.
Well, I
know it's been a week, but some people still haven't seen it.
Because when they announced Deadpool, that's when they announced the Gambit movie with Channing Tatum. And it never happened for him, which is unfortunate because he sort of had that labor of love like Ryan Reynolds did.
That's why the joke was so good when he was like, "I don't know where I'm from." It's like, I think I've always been here. It's like, yeah, dude, you never got a movie. The fact that we got an Elektra movie is insane.
Yeah. The Daredevil movie made gangbusters though. Like it made a lot of money. They didn't
make a sequel, they made an Elektra.
Yeah. I mean,
that's actually in the scene that they make a reference to Ben Affleck, which was another one of the cameos.
It was great.
That was a cameo that was a long since rumored that he was going to be in this, but not as Daredevil. That he was going to be appearing as a new character. And so I was waiting for it, and then when they never said. They just said he was meant to appear in the movie, but not as Daredevil.
I suspect.
So then when they
might be fucking done with comic book movies.
When they made that line, I was like, oh, they were just going to make fun of him.
Well, they have the what's his name?
They made 2 divorce jokes in this movie, and one of them was that basically was like, what about Daredevil?
The Hugh Jackman one hurt. Like that was way too soon.
but the fact that she was like, "Oh, what about Daredevil?" They're like, "He's dead." And they're like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "It's fine."
They also had what's his name? They had Bullseye, like Colin Farrell's Bullseye, but not Colin Farrell. Like he had the cool costume and the thing. He was at the compound. I was like, oh fuck, are they gonna actually show him? And they he died.
Notice that.
Yeah, he was in the back.
Deadpool. One of my favorite comics is Deadpool versus Bullseye. It's right after Dark Reign. It's really good. I'd love to see that in live action. But yeah, it was interesting because a lot of the goons at the compound were just literally the characters from X3, like the big battle. And that battle was the first time we saw like a really big superhero battle on screen. We never had that before, right?
Yeah.
Like X1 and 2 do not have like a big like
not a mutant battle, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited to see Jason Fleming back as Azazel, but then he was just as useful in this movie as he was in First Class.
Did he? I thought he just left. Did he not just leave in this movie, or did he actually fight?
No, he fights Blade.
He fought. Yeah, he fights Blade.
Oh, yeah, Blade beats the shit out of him somehow. I don't know if he kills him, but he like.
I just assume Blade kills everything because it's Blade. That was another one I did not expect to come back, only because I know Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes did not get along famously in Blade 3.
That's the interesting thing is that during the San Diego Comic-Con interviews, Wesley Snipes is like, we've been joking about this for 20 years that we don't like each other. He's like, actually, we quite like each other.
Fucking hell. That's amazing.
Right? And I'm like, but it's a great joke to keep up. Like, why not? Like, it doesn't hurt anybody. And it's just publicity shit where it's like, oh, Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes don't like each other. But it's I mean, it's Hollywood, dude. They're actors.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
What's real?
Nothing is real. I also didn't know, because we talked about the Acolyte for such a long time. We did 2 episodes on the Acolyte. I did not think for some reason. I did not think X-23 was going to come back. I really liked it. I saw after I watched the movie, I went and watched a couple of the trailers, and like they spoiled it. Like they spoiled her reveal in one of like the trailer right before the movie came out, which is insane because that was such a.
She was also at the premiere.
Well,
so
there were a lot of people there that weren't in the movie that are.
Yeah. Well, they were doing a lot of that where like they kept revealing characters in the trailers, and then they had to keep Kevin Feige kept coming out going, no, it's okay. Like all the characters you're seeing are all in the first 10 minutes of the movie. That doesn't make it better.
No.
Why can we not? Why do we only have to wait until the end of the movie to be surprised?
This is
why can't we be surprised the whole way through?
This is why I stopped watching trailers for things. Like I watched the first one and then I won't watch again. Like I'm really looking forward to Alien Romulus because I don't know anything about it.
Oh, dude, that trailer played before the movie, and I leaned over to Mrs. Harcroft and I said, "Fuck, I can't wait to see that movie," but I think I've seen it.
Yeah, they showed a bunch of the people in the movie die, and
turning into xenomorphs, getting their like. I was like, oh my god, like this better have a 30-person cast.
Yeah,
I was out getting snacks at the time, so
you're so lucky.
At this point, I'm like, I've been avoiding everything about that one. I've been avoiding everything about any MCU movie.
That comes out this week,
MCU
doesn't it?
Coming up. Is it this week?
I think it's this week. I gotta go get my tickets.
It's this month.
It comes out August 16th.
Oh,
so
shit.
Next week. So next week.
I'm fucking gonna see that. That's a movie I need to see in D-Box as well. Like that movie.
D-Box. Fuck D-Box. I want to go see it in the 4D.
Oh, you know what movie's apparently really good in 4D? And I didn't want to go see this movie in theaters, but I think I might. Twisters.
I said that I had called that because I saw Abigail in 4D. And they did the trailer for Twisters with the full effect and everything. And I immediately got on the chat and was like, I have no intention of wanting to see this movie whatsoever. I just want to sit in the fucking seat through the whole thing.
Let me know if you go to 4D because I might join you because I think that would be hilarious.
Hands down, if the movie's in 4D,
it's in Mississauga as 4D.
I've only seen one movie in 4D, and it was Guardians 3, and that was a pretty good choice, actually.
What?
Or D-Box. Isn't 4D D-Box with something else as well?
Yeah, it's D-Box.
But you also get like they do the misting for the smells and the wind and rain and shit, so you get like the full like effect of it.
I mean, Twisters sounds like a blast.
Sorry, that just made me think of the Splash Zone. And do you guys know that Evil Dead the Musical is coming back to Toronto?
I do know this because someone sent that to me, and I'm like, fuck yes.
I've seen it twice, and I need to see it again.
My friend was actually Brent knows the same person. Lexi. She was in the original cast in Montreal for the first cast, like the Fringe one, which I think is insane.
God, that's the only musical I fucking love.
It's so good. It's so good. We should go and Splash Zone for sure. Yes.
The last time I saw it, I came back. We went for a work Christmas party, and I ended up. We drove back to work from Toronto, and then I had to take the bus home from work, and I was in the Splash Zone, so I'm covered in red food coloring, and it's all dried on me, and I'm taking the Barton bus, and nobody cares. Nobody gives me a second look. It's 1 a.m. and I look like I'm covered in blood, and no one.
Just another day
that's not covered in blood.
And by the way, this is before like doom scrolling, so don't think it's like, oh, people are on their phones. No, phones were not that good yet.
Eyes down, they just didn't care.
This is the 3G era. We were just getting into that.
That's hilarious. We definitely should go.
I'm so down.
We'll talk to Steve. Maybe we'll actually see Steve again.
What?
I know. Weird. Not Matt Moore though.
He's been reaching out to me, like seeing if I want to go see movies with him and stuff, because he wanted to go see. He was like, "Would it be like worth it to go see the X series at like the art house theaters and that? Like, do you want to go check that out?" And I was like, "Well, I've already seen it, but maybe like."
Has he not seen the X movies?
No.
Oh,
that's a great segue for me, because my girlfriend and I, humble brag, went to see Longlegs at the Playhouse in Hamilton.
What's it good?
And the Playhouse no, the movie's not great.
Oh,
but the Playhouse is fucking awesome. It's a 90-year-old theater.
I like the Playhouse. I used to see like shadow plays of like Rocky Horror there.
Ooh,
like that it was very cool.
The one in Sherman.
Yeah.
So beautiful, sounded great, looked great, like super comfy, way better than going to Cineplex. Cheaper, so we're gonna get a membership and probably see some more movies there.
I saw Watchers the other day. It was not great.
Oh, I told you. Yeah, it's not.
I watched Trap as well.
Ooh, I'm interested in that.
Not good.
Mostly because Josh Hartnett.
I mean, it's an M. Night movie. It's a great premise that he just
doesn't deliver on.
Gets bored of partway through. Like
that's unfortunate. That movie looked really good.
Josh Hartnett is great in it. Like he's fantastic, and there's actually another really good performance in the movie too by M. Night's daughter.
Who just directed The Watchers,
which was not great.
I think it's the other daughter, because one of them is the director and the other one's the musician. The musician daughter plays the Lady
Musician?
Raven character, the concert that he's going to see. She plays like the lead singer of that, and has a surprisingly substantial role in the movie.
Man, I want Josh Hartnett in everything. Like, he's been great his whole career.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
He's just like kind of a chill dude.
Him playing the goofy dad in this is like, it's a role I never knew that I wanted to see him in, and he's so great in it. The way he switches from goofy dad to like menacing, like maniacal maniac, like on a dime, is just so wonderful. Fortunately, just the movie just doesn't deliver.
One of my favorite performances, Brent. Well, I stole this from Brent years ago. And him in Wrath of Man is fucking A tier.
Boy Sweat Dave.
Agreed.
Weirdest name in the world. But
if you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine and you want to see a really good movie that you haven't seen, go watch Wrath of Man. That was our like 2022 film of the year. Like,
yeah, fair. Where do we go from here? Back to the Wolverine movie. So this movie was...
How good was that car fight scene?
Yeah.
So that's my favorite. That's my favorite scene in the movie.
Again, back to like the perfect soundtrack choice for that.
Yeah, that's just like every single fight sequence felt earned. And then the music choice, like Brent was saying, is just perfect for every single one. Like every single one, and it changes the tone just a little bit. So you get Hell's Bells for the first one, and then you get was this that one and that one? It was Grease. Yeah, Grease. Right. Yeah. Just
that's when it turned into Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for me. When I actually like Hugh Jackman fucking crushed it when he's like ranting at him, and he's like, the joke's on all of us, and I'm just like, ugh.
Perfect Wolverine at that point.
And then just the quiet Deadpool of, I'm gonna fight you now. Like, oh my god, was just that whole sequence I love, because it's like that's the first time in the movie I feel like you like actually could feel something. Right? Because like Deadpool's really pissed them off, and they're both just so mad at each other, and they're so frustrated.
And the only way that they stopped is out of exhaustion. Like they were exhausted by the end. I love
old men.
Old men. And then we get the 4 fucking awesome cameos. So this movie was supposed to be like, at least what I assumed was the bridging of the Fox and the MCU universes.
Yeah.
What do you think? Did it do that? Did they start that path between bridging these two universes together?
I think they did, and I like that they did that rather than what the original intent for the movie was always being advertised as, which was Deadpool kills the Fox universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like him coming in and erasing every trace of it. And rather than doing that, this movie really embraced, why do we have to erase that? Why can't we bring that into the fold of what's currently existing? And I think they did a really good job of doing that.
For sure.
I really liked that our villain was still an X-Man villain, and that it shows that, hey, just because you think, you've got Thanos and shit, we've never seen a Thanos in the X-Men movies, but like there are people in the Fox films or characters that should be in the Fox universe, whatever you want to call it, the X-Men universe, that they will destroy the Marvel universe if you let them over there.
Yeah.
So that gives pause to, like, it gives a reason for someone like Doom to be like, yeah, maybe I should protect this universe, or maybe I should do this or that. Like, it feels like it actually, like, people complain about the plot of this movie, and I'm like, I think you got to look a little deeper. Like, there's some really useful stuff here for them to pull, these threads for them to pull on. Because if Doom sees someone like Cassandra Nova, he's going to go, nope, you're gone. Like you're way too fucking dangerous.
Like the amount of Omega level mutants that we've seen just in the X-Men films is crazy. And the fact that once they merge, like that threat is like nothing that they've seen in the MCU, which I
would love to see Doom versus Magneto. Ooh, that'd be so good.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'd love to. I want to see them bring together the storylines of Magneto and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver together, which we've never really had a chance to reference between the two. Like,
apparently, Scarlet Witch is supposed to be getting another solo project for some reason.
Oh,
good, fucking fun. Yes, good. Give us more Scarlet Witch. She's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. And we get the White Vision TV series,
oh my God,
which I think is insane. Written by Terry Matalas, who did Picard season 3 and 12 Monkeys. So that's amazing.
Color me intrigued.
We will be talking about Doom at the end, but we haven't talked about Cassandra Nova as the main villain.
Fucking perfect casting by
Emma
the way.
Corrin was phenomenal as her. The long finger extensions that they gave her were so creepy.
The longer,
yeah, and then
Futurama,
actually like her putting her hands in people's heads was something. I did not expect to see, and it was very really creepy and very good though.
Really cool.
It was like putting the fingers in was one thing. It was then watching the fingers come out wrapped around somewhere else. I was like, that is just so unnerving but awesome.
Yeah. I like that she didn't just seem outright crazy. Like she liked where she lived. She wanted to stay there. She didn't want to get fucked around with, and then people started to fuck around with her. So she fought back. I like that.
Fucked back.
She fucked back.
I loved that sequence where she's like, I've got you. And then Wolverine goes, no, I've got you. And I'm like, yes, that's the power of Wolverine in his own mind when he's actually like, yes.
Mm-hmm. He knows his trauma. He knows it.
Yeah. You can't play this man like that. It's not, this is not young Wolverine. This is old Wolverine who knows how to deal with that shit. He's been friends with Charles for years. Like he's dealt with this shit.
Yeah. He's gone through all of those mind games. Oh man. So good. I liked her a lot. And
the only thing I would have liked to have seen was her trying to go into Deadpool's mind, and she's just like, oh, it hurts, because there's actually a thing where Charles tries to go into his mind and Charles dies because Deadpool's brain is so broken.
I mean, it makes sense. I can't wait to see Deadpool in like a main MCU film where he's not like talking to the camera, but he's just crazy.
Oh, he's just looking over this way and then goes, who the fuck are you talking to?
I'd love to see where he's just not the main character in one of them.
Yeah, 100%. To end this off, like I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about in the film. But
do you want to discuss the IGN article that you were talking about? Because I don't know if it's the same one that I was.
It's the one where they said that we deserve better
movies.
Than
Self-referential movies are basically ruining cinema now. And fuck off, IGN. You
it
guys
was
haven't
such a
gotten
pretentious
right
article. Like I understand that you want to elevate films, but there are some films that you just want to have fun at.
Yeah.
And this was a fun film. Like,
what is going on through the brains of the people at IGN? Like all the issues that they've got going on in the world right now, and they decide that now is the time to pick a fight with Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, who's making their fucking decisions?
I understand.
Somebody said, "Get us fucking clicks." So shit on the most popular movie in the world.
Did you guys read the article? I did. I've read them.
No, I didn't. As soon as I got
I'm not giving them
I was like,
ad
no,
money.
So I read the article. And he started off by saying, this really started with The Force Awakens, where they, instead of starting something new with like Star Wars, they ended up going mostly into nostalgia and like just picking off points that are too much the same that we didn't get it something different. So I agree with that. Like The Force Awakens
I agree with that. I mean, that was seen by Ghostbusters review.
Yeah, exactly. But like Deadpool and
Which,
Wolverine,
by the way, I finally watched Frozen Empire last night.
It's good.
I like that one.
No.
I thought
it
was fun.
like it. No,
I had fun
at
at
it.
it.
Like it. I think I'm done with that series.
Why does Frozen Empire have better effects than like 80% of the Marvel movies before Deadpool and Wolverine?
I don't know.
That were coming out at the same time.
Lots of money.
Anyway, continue.
I agree with certain aspects, but like Deadpool and Wolverine is not a movie that picks from anything in the past. It does touch upon the nostalgia of like the previous films, but this is where I was going to go with this last point anyway. This was a love letter to the Fox films, and I think that's beautiful. Like that video yearbook that they did at the end during the credits was so nice to just see all of these films, and films like people might not even have like Fan Four Stick was shown in there. Like that was a terrible movie.
That was surprising. Yeah.
But they showed it. Like they know that there has been a legacy of films that have come before, and you might not have liked it, but they were there and they brought us to this point. Like I think that's amazing.
And if it was any other movie in the MCU that was trying to be self-referential, I could understand their point. But look at it's Deadpool, and it's the movie that's bridging the end of the Fox generation into the birth of the new MCU. Of course it's going to be self-referential. Of course they're going to be making, like, look at the subject matter. Like, why are they so fucking up in arms that, oh, this movie is going to ruin cinema forever? Like,
well, it's really weird to go, okay, if you want to go, I don't like what this movie did artistically, that's fair, but it doesn't make it bad, right? You go, they didn't do what I wanted in other ways. Okay, well then you're allowed to not like the movie, and you're allowed to disagree with whatever, but that doesn't mean what they did is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And on top of that, some things are meta.
Yeah.
Some things are meta. If you don't like meta, then stay away from meta things. It's not like it when you critique art, or when you want to critique like a work like this, you got to be what's the word I'm looking for? Authentic. You can't just be like, "Oh, well, I don't like I want a Deadpool that's serious." It's like, what the fuck what? That's not a thing. No. They don't like, you want something else, then go watch John Wick. Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you complaining that the art you want that doesn't exist? Then it's actually incumbent on you to go make that art. If you want things to exist that don't exist, you can't just go, pretty please, it'd be great if somebody else made it. Go make it yourself.
Don't make a serious Deadpool movie. That's not
please no. We almost got Deathstroke. That's bad enough.
We tried a serious Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no.
It's just it's such an inauthentic thing to critique things in that regard and then expect like you're going to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
I don't need to read the article. I already know what because they're probably just trying to get clicks.
Yeah.
And they just found the right person, right? If you don't like a certain thing, you're probably not the right person to critique it.
It's so strange.
I think that's all IGN is at this point. It's like, I think they've ruined their reputation so badly over the past few years that now the only thing they've got going for them is like, well, people will read it if they hate it.
So many people have left there that I respected that I'm just like, I don't care about anyone there. It's funny, like if he didn't add the whole thing about Deadpool and Wolverine, like the first bit makes sense.
Yeah, but as a whole, you want to critique the industry, sure.
Yeah. But the Deadpool and Wolverine is not the thing that is not a symptom of this stuff. Like this is
not a good target.
Like it's this is basically what it is in the comics. Just like,
Yeah.
and it's it's such a weird article, because when you start reading, you're like, okay, this makes sense, and then you're like, okay, it's starting to stop making sense. Oh, and then you lost it.
It makes more sense to go. I really prefer if the industry wasn't trying to coattail, this style of movie. We've got too many of them. Yeah, we get that. We get fatigue from all kinds of things, right? Did we really have superhero fatigue, or were we just getting low quality products because Disney's president changed and changed the way things were?
They wanted more product and less quality. Like that's that. When
and
you
they
start
thought they'd get away with it.
When you start pumping out so many things because you need to have this quota of 8 or 9 projects a year, you're gonna lose quality because your creators aren't gonna have enough time to make something that good, right?
Well, and the difference too is sometimes it works when we find people who don't know the source material very well. Like, as much as I hate Tim Burton, he changed a lot of Batman stuff, but he did not respect Batman comics, right? And then we had people like when they did Secret Invasion, they didn't read any fucking Secret Invasion comics. They don't know anything about the MCU, and you see the quality of the product that comes out. Not only the product, but like the story that they've written, where it's like, this is so derivative, because either they're thinking, oh, I'm going to make an original comic book thing. No, you're not. Comic books have been around for 90 years. You're not making anything original. Everything's already been written. So what you should do is go take the best pieces of those, because that's what good writers do. They borrow from better writers. That's how it works. And then obviously people who care about the quality of something, like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, we get a great product.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. It's a product. And that product's going to make money because they did a good job with it. Whereas if you make a bad product because you didn't invest enough in it and you didn't get the right people to run it, like Secret Invasion, it's not going to work out well. And then it sucks for people like Sam Jackson and Emilia Clarke who get associated with this piece of shit that you put out.
Yeah.
Those people don't deserve that.
Yeah. Same with like let's look at something like The Eternals, which beautiful
on
movie.
paper,
great.
On paper, the should be great.
But that should not have been a movie. That should have been a Disney Plus show.
It's really weird that Feige was like, we kind of want to. I mean, I understand that he kind of wanted, like, let's kind of branch out a little bit, but it was maybe too far out of their wheelhouse to try to do like an art house almost. Like, that's that director, that's what she makes. And then you're like, hey, make a big budget movie. But also, apparently, what happens a lot is they come up to people and they go, hey, we want you to direct this movie, which may be partly just to put their name on it. And then they go, don't worry about the fight scenes. We'll take care of that stuff. Like, don't worry. Like, we want you to focus on like this stuff, which maybe makes sense because you have the best stunt choreographers in the business. So don't get a director who, like, you're not getting John. Like, if you want an action movie, you get John Woo.
Yeah.
If you want a drama, go get, I don't know, like Doug Liman or something. I guess he can do everything, but whatever, if
you want an Avengers movie, you get comedy directors, like Community
If
directors.
you want a Thor movie, you get Kenneth Branagh then Taika Waititi.
I mean, Kenneth Branagh was a brilliant choice.
Perfect choice.
For that first movie, absolutely he was.
Yeah.
The only other person I could have thought of actually would be David Twohy, who did the Chronicles of Riddick films, because Chronicles of Riddick is partly Hamlet.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I like those movies. I think
we're supposed to be getting another one.
Yeah. What I think is that these last couple phases have felt really unfocused, and you can tell that they're trying to course correct right now. Like, how many characters have we seen so far in the MCU in these last 2 phases that we haven't seen again? Like, where's Shang-Chi? Like, like that was a great movie, and he's just.
It's one thing.
But he's fallen by the wayside because of all the other shit that they put out. Like,
and that movie made a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
And everybody likes him. We all like him. We liked all the characters in the movie. They had a nice cliffhanger and stuff. Like, we want Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
That was 3 years ago. That movie came out 3 years ago, and we have not heard about
At
anything.
the bare minimum, they should, you think, have a decent script going. It's something that I think people don't realize. It's like it shouldn't be like a year or even 2 years between films.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we see it in video games. It fucking sucks. We get a new video game every year. It's terrible. Ubisoft did that. Call it, a Treyarch, whatever did that. You can't do it.
Assassin's Creed, like,
Assassin's
Creed, Call of Duty. Like, we need time.
Takes 3 to 4 years to usually write something that's good, because you have to write it again and again and again and again and again until you get it right.
I think the thing that people like forget about it is not so much that it takes that much time to create the product, but it takes that much time. The audience has to rebuild the desire for the product as well. If you are constantly being spoon fed the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to start to hate it. You need to have that time off in between to start building that anticipation and that eagerness for it. And that's my problem with the MCU now is that, like, I'm not ready for the next thing before they're jamming it down my throat. It's like, chill. I don't need another fucking TV series right now. Like,
two movies a year felt like the right amount. Whereas, like, you're like, oh, I'm ready for the next one. Then you kind of,
but now, like,
you're edging for it.
Yeah,
and then you get the
three
next
or four
one.
movies and 5 series in a year. I'm like, no, I can't. I don't even remember. I think Loki season 1 is the last actual television series that I watched from the MCU.
Season 2 is worth it. But like Moon Knight was great, but is it worth it? Like, are we gonna see him again? I love him, but I would.
Moon Knight is a good standalone product. I like She-Hulk too.
She-Hulk was fun. Like all of these things, like I don't know, like they were just.
But I thought like I said, Loki season 2 could have been one episode at the end of Loki season 1.
That's true. It's true.
Could have been one episode. It could have been a 40-minute episode.
It could have been a mini movie, like at the end of that. Like just to tie it off. Like I like that
a Loki
idea.
movie would have been cool.
Yeah.
Loki.
It would have made bank because everyone loves Tom Hiddleston.
Everybody keeps editing down. They edited down the Obi-Wan show, right? Someone's gonna edit down the Acolyte, I'm sure. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And then the edits are way better because they're tight.
Destin Daniel Cretton was supposed to direct the last 2 Avengers movies, the next 2 Avengers movies before the whole Kang thing happened, and he was just like, okay, well,
now he's just attached to Shang-Chi too,
which is good because he did an amazing job with the first one. We did get the announcement that the Russo brothers are back. This is our last couple things for this episode at SDCC, and they're gonna do Doomsday, which is a Doctor
Avengers Doomsday,
a Doctor Doom movie, which cool that we're not getting Doctor Doom in a Fantastic Four movie because we don't always have to have
that. Doesn't mean we're not. It doesn't mean we're not.
It's true.
I think you'll get some kind of like it'll be like an introduction at the end.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I agree with that.
What if it's Robert Downey Jr. going to the Fantastic Four and says, "I'd like to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative.
I'd like to talk to you about the what was it? Future Foundation."
I'm still waiting for them to announce Chris Evans as Galactus.
I mean, he would make a great Galactus voice. No, wait, they already announced Galactus's voice. Who is he? He's from Game of Thrones. Fantastic Four, First Steps. Galactus is played by Ralph Ineson.
Our favorite voice actor.
Yep,
that guy.
He's great.
He's Sid in Final Fantasy 16. He was also in Diablo 4 as the new Deckard Cain guy.
Yep, he was.
He is in one of my favorite episodes of the IT Crowd where he's a masseuse and he kisses Roy on the ass when he's done and Roy freaks out.
I'm happy about that because I much prefer when thank God, hire a voice actor instead of like a really big name actor for fuck's thank God.
He's in The Legend of Vox Machina. He's in
the one,
he's the Green Knight. He's the Green Knight.
He is the Green Knight.
Oh, yeah.
He's phenomenal. The one thing we could have got that we didn't get out of all the cameos, right, is we didn't get Nolan North as a Deadpool variant.
Oh, yeah.
Would have been really cool to have a cartoon Deadpool voiced by Nolan North.
Yeah.
But
he was also the video game one,
Reynolds
wasn't he?
Kids.
I mean, they were cute as Baby Pool and Kid Pool. And his wife is Lady
Matthew McConaughey. That was another one I did not know about.
The cowboy one. Oh, we didn't even
Nathan
talk about
Fillion I didn't know about. And Blake Lively was originally everyone was rumoring to be Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I'm glad it was Blake Lively. I think that was great. Keep it in the family. She should be what's her name anyway? Dazzler, eventually.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, she'd make a great Dazzler.
Sure.
If she just sang, and I don't know, can she act? Who knows? Anyway, we also got the announcement that Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom. I just want your thoughts on this.
Well, have you read the comics where they switch minds and stuff like? There's a bunch of cool things. I don't know if there's going to be spoilers. Who knows? It's all over the internet. But like, there's some great stories where Doom and Tony Stark switch bodies, and then but Doom makes Stark forget his past as Stark in Doom's body, and what happens is their personalities are the same. So everybody fucking hates Tony Stark because it's actually Victor Von Doom in there, and everybody loves Tony Stark as Victor Von Doom because he makes Latveria a better place again. Because that's what Tony Stark. He's trying to solve problems, and Doom is this egomaniac.
Yep.
So no matter what you do, you get the same person in the end. So people are, we don't know if he's going to be a variant. We don't know if it's going to be. I like the idea of just him in the suit. We never see. It's just RDJ
never see
in
his
a
face.
suit. Just never see his face.
I mean, he's a great voice actor as it is, right? So, an actor in general. So if he doesn't take off the mask, I don't mind.
I hope there's other Dooms because I always wanted. I've said this many times. Mads Mikkelsen, I thought would be.
That's what I was
Doom.
saying in their chat over.
But he was already Caecilius, and I think Mads Mikkelsen has no intention of ever coming back to do MCU. Even though he said he had a lot of fun doing Caecilius, I don't think.
What movie was he in? What?
Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah,
the first Doctor Strange. He's the villain. Yeah, totally wasted on a throwaway character who dies.
Back when ever, because none of us in that chat remembered he was.
I forgot 100%.
Back when every
one of us chatting, not one of us.
Back when every time they finished the movie, they killed their villain.
Yeah.
It should be interesting.
Yeah, Brent.
Oh yeah, I have no problem with it. I trust that they have a concept in mind for it to justify and make sense. I mean, like the only way but I trust them to cast anyone in the role, really, that they know what they're doing in that sense. But unless it was like he pulled up the mask and it was fucking Jonathan Majors playing Dr. Doom now, and I'd be like, then I'd question it a little bit. But no, RDJ's great in fucking everything. So put him in.
I look forward to.
Have you seen all the memes of like him? Have you seen the memes of him like taking over all of the different roles?
Yep.
And they use the Tropic Thunder shot of him he's going to be playing Blade.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I am looking forward to it as well. I can't wait to see him.
We trust the Russos. They've done no wrong.
Yeah.
They've done some wrong, but not in the MCU.
You didn't like the Gray Man? I thought the Gray Man was fine.
It was okay.
What's your problem with Community?
I love Community. Don't say no bad words about Community. Community is one of my favorite shows, and I still watch it.
We did a 3-hour podcast on Community.
I mean, we could do it right now too. We'll just keep talking about our favorite Community episodes. We should do that one day. Our favorite Community.
We did that already.
When the movie comes out.
Yes. We literally already did that last year.
We should do it again.
Yes.
Our second favorite episode.
It was the most excited I've ever seen Mark on a podcast.
Nope, fair Community. Oh my god, so good. I'm looking forward to seeing Fantastic Four because of I want to see Pedro Pascal and RDJ go at it.
That cast looks great. Top tier cast, cool aesthetic, 1960s, obviously alternate
retro
universe.
Future,
unless they're going to show back up in like the present or something, like if they want to do the mainline universe and they go to the cosmos and time dilation happens and they come back later, like who knows? But
they'll have to fold them in somehow, like they did with the Guardians. Like they'll have to find some way to fold them into the whole.
I'm fine if it's a different dimension and then it all gets pulled together in Secret Wars, because that's basically the whole idea of Secret Wars. Is that all these dimensions get pulled together?
Is there anything before then? That's the next thing, right? Fantastic Four.
That's I think that's.
Is there anything else? There's the Agatha TV show, and then
I mean, like they were supposed to start filming Spider-Man in November, but then every time they get ready to do that,
isn't Captain America next? That's
February, right? Captain America. Because February and then May, right? May's supposed to be Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah.
So we should get a wait. How does they just finished filming Fantastic? I guess
they just
started filming Fantastic Four.
Oh,
they didn't have all the footage that they showed at Comic-Con was all just was all like graphical work. Like there was no actual shots from the movie.
They had some footage, but it was all like test footage.
Nothing with the actors.
No, they had the actors, but it was test footage.
So here is the upcoming slate: is Agatha All Along, September 18th, which actually looks pretty good. They got why can't I think of her name? Rose. Who's the woman from Parks and Rec? Aubrey Plaza.
Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, Aubrey Plaza. Yeah.
Rashida Jones. Yeah.
Rashida Jones would be amazing.
And then Parks and Rec.
Yeah. And then Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man,
the animation.
Spider-Man fresh 2024, which looks fine. Eyes of Wakanda series is 2024 as well, apparently. We've seen nothing about that. And then Captain America, and then Daredevil Born Again in March, and then Thunderbolts in May.
Oh,
and then
Thunderbolts.
And then we're getting a lot in 2025 because 2025 is Cap. I guess it's a TV show, but there's 3 movies set for it because there's Cap, Thunderbolts, Daredevil, and Fantastic Four, and Blade, and Ironheart. That's crazy.
Yeah, Blade.
That's
Blade's not coming out there.
Blade's never coming out, which is fine.
Blade is the Silk Song of movies at this point. Like,
I think
I'm convinced it doesn't exist.
Here's my pitch for what they do with Blade instead. They do a Savage Avengers film. Maybe change the title because some people don't like the term Savage. That's okay. Because Savage Avengers, the comics, to be fair, started with Conan. We're not going to have Conan, but we do Kazar, who's basically the Tarzan from the Savage Land. Maybe change that, whatever. But it was Elektra, it was Black Knight, it was Wolverine, and Conan, and Venom.
Why not just Midnight Suns?
Because I want Savage Avengers.
Fair enough.
Because there's a great issue where it's Magic and Juggernaut working with like Black Knight and Blade and Dr. Voodoo and a bunch of other like really cool characters. And I love seeing Juggernaut as a good guy. I love seeing Magic's a really cool character. I like her a lot.
I like Magic.
I like seeing Blade. I like seeing Blade in a team up that isn't inherently Midnight Suns vampire stuff. Fair. So yeah, and I like seeing Blade and Black Knight work together because they're both like, and Elektra, like just a bunch of people with swords is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like all melee characters. There's no like, there's nobody flies, nobody had like, they're just like down to earth. They're powerful, but they're just
fair.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Anyway, we're done talking about Wolverine and Deadpool. You guys want to come back in 2 weeks talk about Alien? Romulus?
Oh, fine, I guess.
Alien. I mean, I'm trying to think what else is coming out.
I'll message the girlfriend and be like, "We gotta go see a movie."
I'm bracing myself as to whether or not it's going to be a positive or a negative time talking about it. But
I
think
with Alien movies at this point.
I love Alien movies.
I mean, he fucking killed it with the Evil Dead. I don't think he's gonna fuck up Alien.
Evil Dead was such a fucking creepy movie. I can't watch that one again. It's
hard to watch. It's really brutal.
Yeah, I watched it by myself at dark. Like no. I didn't know. That was the last movie I watched in the dark. That was a scary movie. I watched everything.
That was probably I think Long Legs was the last one where I went in kind of like nervous about how I was gonna like react to it, and then I was just like, yeah, It was overhyped. Really good. It was a good movie. Overhyped.
I like Alien movies. In general I enjoy. So I'm hoping this is more Alien and not more like that other fucking franchise. What it was.
In general, I really like the Alien movies. I was not a fan of the Prometheus movies.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Prometheus.
The Alien movies, yes, I've always enjoyed because
even
they're more
Alien
horror,
3,
which I prefer the more like the horror aspects of the series rather than like the science fiction or the dramatic in that. So this looks to be more up my alley for what I want.
I even liked Alien 4, not Alien 3. Alien 3.
I have Alien a soft 3 spot for Alien Resurrection, but. Alien 3, give me the Fincher edit all day though.
Yeah, I agree.
Give me the director's cut. I really like that.
Anyway, hopefully we get a director's cut of Deadpool and Wolverine with more swearing and more funness. Anyways, thanks guys for coming and talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. We'll be back in a couple weeks talking about something else. Maybe Alien. Maybe we'll just talk about good Alien movies, which is also possible.
Mac and me.
Anyway, for Dave, for Brent, for me, Eric, we're Geeks, kids, blah, blah, blah. We're going. Goodbye. Good night. Bye. Brain died. Well, that's it for us this week on Geeks with Kids. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at podcast@geekswithkids.ca. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geekswithkids. Follow us on Twitter at geekswithkidscn. Check out our pics on Instagram at geekswithkids. And you can find all of this good stuff on our website at www.geekswithkids.ca. So if you like what you hear, why don't you hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. This podcast can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcasting app. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.